Here we go. Wait, take.
He's got Ben Troupe at the 15, at the 10, hurdles a man, spins to the 5. Oh my, still on his feet, still pounding to the goal line. He's gonna score!
What's up, everyone? I am Jason Cooper, and I can feel it in the air. It's fall, so we ain't got no weddings going on. We got football in the air. My man next to me needs no introduction. It's Ben Troupe in the house. Welcome in, my friend.
Jason, I want to say I had an okay weekend because I'm still breathing, but you let me know. We'll get to you. Let me know on Saturday just how bad my Saturday was. But listen, it's college football. I will take it with NFL football right here on the horizon.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised about. We'll talk about it in a second. I was a little bit taken back, actually, how good the Hurricanes look. But let's pay the bills first. Of course, if you are planning on playing some fantasy, especially daily, go to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code Troupe. That'll get you double your deposit up to $100. Also, just to throw it out there, if you're looking for some championship bling for your fantasy champion, you can look no further than Pro-Am Belts. Make sure to check them out. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid. Hit the subscribe, hit the follow, hit a like. Do all those things. Little things stopping you from doing it. Big things popping for us when you do, so we appreciate you. All right, well, let's get things started tonight. We do have a special guest coming in a little later. He's going to do some NFL picks with you, so we're going to go head-to-head. I think that'll be a cool thing every week. Let's bring somebody in. We'll do some head-to-head picks. I like that. But in the meantime, let's talk about last week. It's the week on repeat, and boy, oh boy, you can repeat it a few times. Let's start off. Well, we talked about a few games last week. Let's talk about those first. How about number uno in your home state, Georgia, 34 to Clemson's 3. I'm looking at their seedings, and it's messing me up. They were ranked 14th last week, so it's 1 versus 14. Looked like the big marquee game. 34-3 beat down. Clemson falls to 25 this week. Ben, your thoughts on this game? Break it down for us.
Georgia made it look easy. I mean, it was kind of like a nail biter because, first game of the year, you're trying to fill each other out. Dabo, versus Kirby. You talk about Clemson and Georgia, old rival they're trying to rekindle. Once they kicked the ball, after about the first quarter and a half, Georgia settled in. Georgia defense put the clamps down on that Clemson offense. Carson Beck showed the whole world why he's going to be in that Heisman Trophy, running all year long. But Georgia team as a whole, if you never seen Georgia play, let me tell you something. They play angry football. Once they get a lead, you're not going to get the lead back. They play to the last second. I mean, Kirby Smart be coaching with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter like they finna lose. But they have a mentality up there. They got a culture up there. Dabo Swinney is still one of the best to ever done it. But Dabo Swinney, since he ain't had Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, hasn't been much to talk about, with them Clemson Tigers. I am not saying Clemson is not a good team. I'm just saying they're not a better team than Georgia. Shout out to them Georgia boys who are going to be numero uno, pretty much all season. I mean, even though they do got to go to Texas and they do got to go to Alabama, but that's later on in the year.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this in a second because I find it interesting that Clemson, even though, again, they're played the number one team, we had this whole conversation last week about the rankings, the preseason rankings, and how, it doesn't make much sense. They haven't been on the field. Well, here's a team going against what everyone knows is a clear-cut favorite, gets a beatdown and still finds himself in the top 25. That to me is perplexing because they have no shot. So what's the point of ranking them right now? They need to win a few games. That was an absolute beatdown. Quick funny story. We were doing our fantasy draft actually while this game was on. I brought my son with me because he's doing his first one this year, so give him a little taste of what was going on. He literally said to me after, because I guess I lost attention to it, he said, oh, that wasn't that bad of a beatdown after all, because they were up so early, up so high. He thought it'd be 56 something, and he told me the score, and I just started laughing. I was like, wow, that's what we're doing here. goodness, that's not a big beatdown, 34-3. I don't know what is. All right, let's go to the other marquee matchup of the college weekend. Number 7 Notre Dame faced off against number 20 Texas A&M, and this was a good one. 23-13, Texas A&M definitely hung with Notre Dame, and they actually fall out of the top 25. So that was like the point I wanted to make. How does this team, who hung with the top 10 team, fall out of the 25, and Clemson's still in there? To me, again, doesn't make sense. But what do you think? What'd you think of that ball game, Ben?
Really, really good game. Coach Elko, I mean, get to step in as a new head coach of Texas A&M, taking over for Jimbo Fisher, Marcus Freeman, who understands that being in Notre Dame, they only got the regular season. They don't get to play, conference championship game, but a really, really good game. I think the thing about a guy like Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame, he's under a different level of scrutiny, Jason, because of who he coached for. And let's face it, you the head coach of Notre Dame, everybody's watching. Either one. Notre Dame is like the Yankees. You either love them or you hate them. Most people cannot stand Notre Dame. I don't know why they can't stand them. They just can't. Marcus Freeman found a way to have a really, really good, first game. But like I said, people got them slotted as being one of the top 12 teams when it's all said and done. Nobody's really expecting Texas A&M to do anything, of significance. Coach Elko did a really, really good. Had a really, really good coach football team. But I just think that talent, kind of got the best of them towards the end. But I do agree with Jason. Really, really good game. And look, anytime Notre Dame was playing, people are going to watch. People are like, who are these Texas A&M dudes? I say, look, man, Texas A&M doesn't really have the tradition outside of College Station that they give themselves credit for. But guess what? They got all money in the state of Texas, people. And guess what? Texas and Texas A&M, they get a split of that. So it don't matter how we feel. They got plenty of ducats down there in Texas. So the money is flowing. The wins, not so much, but a good game by both the Fighting Irish and the Maggies.
Going back to show one, another thing we talked about was the environment in college. If you didn't watch that game and have a smile on your face, like those people it was such a fun environment. I was just sitting here like, man, I wish I was an Aggie fan. I was in Texas right now because boy, oh boy, that sure looked like a lot of fun. And again, going back to, here's this team, wasn't really expected to do much, playing a top 10 team and hung with them. And, again, you've played in the NFL, or you played in college too, that home advantage, especially when they're all fired up like that, it definitely does something to you, adds a little bit of electricity, I guess, if you will, to your body. So it was interesting to see them playing a little bit out of their bodies, playing a good Notre Dame team. So good game there. All right, let's get to it. I'm going to rip this Band-Aid right off because I know you got one somewhere, maybe on your arm or your booty, whatever it is. It's getting ripped off, buddy, because right now let's talk about the previous ranked 19th Miami Hurricanes, 41 points to 17 to your Gators. Ooh-wee. Miami already up to rank number 12 now after that little beatdown. Looked great. I mean, they just looked on all cylinders, looked like they were firing. It was really fun to finally see Miami get a QB back. Quite frankly, it was funny, but prior to that game, my friend was like, oh man, I'm so excited. The Hurricanes have a QB again. And I'm always a wait and see guy, especially Hurricanes. They've been kind of up and down for a little while. Man, oh man, did I see some great things. But let's hear your thoughts on your alma mater's beatdown.
Cam, listen, let me tell y'all something. Okay. Obviously, my heart, is always going to be them orange and blue boys. But being on this side of things, being in the sports media side, I do my best to try to be as optimistic as I can. I knew how good Cam Ward was. I remember him. He was in the Pac-12 over there. I knew how good he was. Jason, I remember you asking me, how good is this Cam? I said, man, he good now. I mean, people think just because you get in the portal because you don't want to compete. No. Because Joe Burrow started off at Ohio State, but he wanted to boost his resume by going to LSU. That's what Cam Ward is doing. He is saying, most of the country watches football on the East Coast. Most of the country, by the time 4 o'clock come, they sleep or they ain't trying to be unless their favorite team is playing. Let me tell you this about Cam Ward. Super duper impressed. This dude was toying with the Florida defense. It was times out there. There was a play that Cam Ward he just running around. He could have ran for the touchdown. He could have just ran it. He just listen. He ran around, and just threw the ball away. He said, because I think for a guy like Cam Ward, he probably grew up. Somebody told him about the U and restore and how it is. If you win at Miami, what it does for you. Hey man, Listen, Cristobal looked at Billy Napier, took Billy Napier to the woodshed and beat the hell out of him. He said, Billy, listen, don't let my record fool you. I know we very similar, but we are not the same at this current juncture in our career. Now, it is only one game, but for one game, no one was talking about Georgia. No one was talking about Ohio State. No one was talking about Notre Dame. No one was talking about any of these. No one was talking about Oregon and all these. It was all about the U. And I must say, for one day, listen, they did their thing, man. And I think, and look, and shout out to the Hurricane fans that travel, because people say Hurricanes ain't got no fans. BS. It was littered with orange and green up in the swamp on Saturday. But shout out to Cam Ward and company. They had their way. I know that DJ Lagway, the future, he had to step in because, well, they knocked Graham Mertz the hell out. They knocked him out, and then DJ had to come in. I haven't seen a performance like that in the swamp with Miami since the days I was there. Them 2002, I had to play them in 2002. They had all green on. It got ugly. But shout out to the Hurricanes. I'm never going to poke fun. Them boys came in, they did their thing. And Cam Ward said this to the fans. He said, listen, Florida fans, I know y'all don't know this, but you're supposed to yell and scream when I'm trying to get the play. If I already got the play and I come up to the line and you get quiet, like, I don't like he's trying to give our fans directives, but when you win the game, you know this, Jason, you can say whatever you want. And for one day, he owned Gainesville and he owned Coral Gables / Miami. Shout out to them Canes. And for Billy Napier, hey, bro, you better be lucky this week one, because if this middle of the season looking like that, and I don't know who Billy Napier think he is talking to the fans. I don't blame the fans. The fans don't call plays or make plays. That's on you. But shout out to them Canes for coming to the swamp. Listen, they came in our trap and they took our trap. So I got to live with it.
Yeah, I think even as Dolphin fans too get a bad rap, not very loyal, this, that, and the other thing. Listen, I got them tattooed on me, okay? So they ain't getting much loyal than that, all right? So y'all just pipe down a little bit, but anyway. All right, let's talk about the game of the week, which it ended up being. We didn't even bring this game up, kind of off our radar a little bit, but the 25th ranked USC Trojans played number 14th ranked LSU. And USC upset them 27-20. USC goes up to 13th in the rankings, and LSU falls to 18th. What's your thoughts on this one?
It lived up to it. Lincoln Riley did what no one thought he could do. We know what he does with quarterbacks, right? We know what he does with offenses. Will they play defense? Let me tell you something. Catch of the year might happen in that game. Just go. That might have been catch of the year if you didn't see it. Mm-hmm. But the thing was, everybody thought, hey, man, you got USC versus big bad LSU. Let me tell you about Brian Kelly and LSU. They've lost, right? They lost to Florida State, right? 2 years in a row, opening game. Then they lose to USC. Now, LSU big brand, USC big brand, I get it. Lincoln Riley, Brian Kelly. The thing about Brian Kelly is Brian Kelly's living in the past. People think just because you make a whole bunch of money, that means you're going to win some games. I know he got rid of his old defensive staff because LSU defense last year looked like it was like what Florida defense was against Miami this year. That's how bad they were. They were like that all year. Got rid of the entire defensive staff. Yeah. Well, let me tell you what Lincoln Riley said. He said, listen, bro, I don't know what y'all doing at LSU. Out here in sunny side up LA. We're trying to get these dubs, baby. We're trying to get them early and often. So shout out to them Trojans getting it done. Lincoln Riley knows that when everybody's watching, I got to have a good performance. And once again, Jason, great game now. But let me tell you this to these youngsters out there. Listen, I realize that y'all got y'all little celebrations or whatever. Listen, man, if you're going to be doing gun signs and gang signs, we're watching you. The whole world, I'm sorry. The whole college football world is watching. I'm not trying to come down on you. I'm just saying you can't do everything that's in your head. You can't do that, especially when you lose. Because the coach is going to see, it's this type of behavior while we lose. No, it's not. No, it's not. But when you lose, Jason, everything that could have been good gets used against you. And when you win, hey, man, it's a free fall. But shout out to them Trojans and them Tigers giving us, a great game. My mom and dad sitting up watching last night. My mom was talking, she talking about what that little boy doing? That's not a little boy. That's a young man, not a fully grown man. And I guarantee you he won't do that again, especially on national TV. But great game. Shout out to them Trojans. And if you are a Tigers fan, whether that is Clemson or LSU, be very worried because y'all haven't even got it to the schedule yet. And y'all already getting them L's. And yes, that is coming from a Gator who got the hell beat out of us on Saturday as well. So welcome to the club.
All right. I love it. Well, we know LSU, you were just talking about it, probably got a coach in the hot seat. What do you think about some of these coaches, my friend?
Jason, I got to get something off my chest. Let me tell you about these coaches for a second. Okay. Everybody wants to talk about two things in college. They want to talk about NIL. They want to talk about transfer portal. You notice no one talks about that during the season? Because I'm telling y'all, college football is idiot-proof, even for people like myself. Even I can't mess it up. Brian Kelly, Dabo Swinney, right? Billy Napier, Mike Norvell. And for those of you not keeping track, that is Florida State, LSU, Clemson, and Florida. The teams that are part of like the blue blood of college football, the college football fabric. When Florida State lost to Georgia Tech, people were like, oh man, it was in Dublin, Ireland. It's a long ways away. They just got to get back. Then they came back to the States. And Boston College and Bill O'Brien, yes, Steve Bill O'Brien, that used to be the head coach of Houston, Texas. They did what they wanted to with Florida State. So Mike Norvell, they 0-2, right? They own in the division, by the way. That's two conference opponents. Billy Napier talking trash to the fans. You have really lost your mind when you're talking trash to the fans. The same fans you're going to ask to pack the stadium. Brian Kelly, he slapped the table. He hurt his little hand because he slapped the table because they lost. He's showing emotion. And here's the thing about Dabo Swinney. The quarterback at Florida State used to be at Clemson. DJU Anglele or DJU, whatever you want to call it. DJU better play better. Because I'm telling you, jobs are already on the line because Clemson ain't going nowhere soon because they don't like the transfer portal. Florida State don't got a veteran-laden team like they did last year. I don't know what the hell's going on in the game. I really don't know what's going on. And listen, LSU, look, it's a long way since 2019. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Thaddeus Moss. That's Randy Moss' son, by the way. All I'm saying to these coaches is this, Jason. It comes like this. These coaches making 8, 9, 10 million a year. Yeah, these some of the highest paid coaches in sports, not just in college. In sports, everybody listen. I don't want to hear about them buyouts. I don't know, and I ain't calling for nobody's job. But you know what, Jason? We got 12 teams get a chance to end the portal. I don't think none of these teams I just mentioned gonna even have a shot to get in. And it's only week 2. Florida State, y'all out. Y'all already lost 2 games. Y'all out. Y'all went from undefeated last year to already 0-2. Y'all 0-3 in 2024 because you lost to Georgia in the bowl game. You lost to Georgia Tech overseas. Now you just lost the Boston College. Look. Head coaches talk a lot of trash. They blame everybody but themselves. But you know why I don't feel bad about them? Because you get paid to leave. I'm not calling for nobody's job. But if you get 26, 36, 50 million to leave, that's the type of job I want. Pay me to get the hell on. And I want my money within 60 days like Kevin Sumlin did when he was at Texas A&M. You owe me 15 million. I want it within 60 days. Because if they would did it in 61 days, they would have had to double it. But head coaches, find a way to get it together, man. Because ain't nobody trying to hear no excuses. And that's all I got to say about
that. I absolutely love it. That's what we call Ben's reality check. All right, we got our guests waiting. So I don't want to take too long, but we do got to really quickly talk about what we're going to watch this week. I hit the wrong transition. Who cares? All right, let's. Wrong one, Jay. Wrong one. My bad. Well, luckily for Deb, she don't have to wait too long at all. Because this week, if you're looking for some big games in college, you're in trouble. There's only 2 games with top 25 teams facing off. So Ben, I'll bring up the big one of the week: number 3 Texas versus number 10 Michigan. What do you
Michigan, you cannot hide. Listen, if you didn't get a chance to see Texas this weekend, guess what? This is how bad Texas won. Texas beat the team they played so bad that people only show Arch Manning 2 touchdowns. The game is over by then. That's how good Texas is. The fact that, listen, show Arch, because if you don't show Arch, his feelings are going to be hurt. That's Archie Manning's grandson. That's Peyton and Eli's nephew. Man, get the hell out of here. But Texas and Michigan, look, Michigan coming off a national championship win, no Harbaugh, big problem. I'm telling you, I only judge you when the talent is equal. Well, Michigan. You wanted Texas? Hey, man. Should be a good one come Saturday, though. Should be great.
I'm excited for it indeed. One Harbaugh-less team is a good thing indeed, in my estimation. Let's go to number 14, Tennessee versus number 24, NC State. Like I said, we got slim pickings this week. What you think about this match?
I will say this: one of the most impressive teams of the weekend was Tennessee. They got this young quarterback who got one of them Tua Tagovailoa. He got a funny last name, but the young man is a baller. From what I seen for week one, look out. I think he's going to be one of the ones to watch. And like I say, it is slim. Listen, whenever you saying that Tennessee and NC State is going to be one of the games of the week, it's going to be outside of that. Listen, it's going to be a bunch of Montana States versus Yales, and Harvard versus Penn. But I am looking to see a lot of teams bounce back that haven't got one in the win column. But shout out, listen, if you haven't had a chance to see some good quarterback, and the young man they got up there in Tennessee, Joe Milton and company that's set the stage for what that offense is going to be. I think this young man going to take it to the next level. So shout out to them. What you call them? Sun-kissed orange jerseys. That sherbet. That's that sherbet orange. And that's sherbet to you Tennessee fans. Now, I ain't gonna call it what I usually call it. I'm gonna call it sherbet. One goes and asks, "Do you have sherbet Tennessee orange?" Like, yeah, we got one. We got one in your size. But shout out to them Tennessee boys, man. Getting back to that national relevancy should be a good game. Young man, listen, keep adding to your legacy, even though it's only week 2 of your young career.
Ben, you didn't even go creamsicle. You just went sherbet.
I say the creamsicle for Tampa Bay. That is them. It's sherbet. No, I'm just saying it's sherbet. Now, usually, I usually call it baby throw up orange. That's what I call it. When the baby throws up, that's what it looks like. It looks like that. It does. I mean, what?
Shout out to
man. They know what it is.
Shout out to the 0 Vol fans we had prior and after. All right. All right. We got a special guest in the wings because we got some NFL to talk about this week too. Let's bring her in.
I got a dance party going on now too.
Hey, we're in the club.
Hey.
I love it. It's Deb Whitcas, host of the Blonde Blitz and AKA Sports Report. Deb, welcome into the studio.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here. Ben, the one and only Ben Troupe, what is up?
Hey, what's good? Listen, I heard some great things, man. I appreciate you taking the time to come on. You are our first ever guest. We got to start in style, so we appreciate you making our first guest debut.
Love that. Thank you so much. I love your hat too. I need to know where you got it because I need one.
Listen, I mean, not to give them no free pub, but listen, it's a place called Two Roads Hat Company. I just like it because it's big. It looks like it costs a lot of money. I make cheap stuff look good. I've been doing it for a long time. That's what I do.
Oh, shout out to them. Hey, let's get some sponsorships going. We all wear a hat.
Right?
All right.
We can both wear it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, welcome in, Deb. I know it's the most exciting time of the year because we got football in the air. And we already went over some college stuff. So now we're going to kick it with some pro stuff. And actually, I thought it'd be a little fun. Told Ben maybe we'll just do this, make it a weekly thing with hey, if you want to come in, or we'll just bring another guest in. But let's do a pick'em challenge, at least for this week anyway. Have you guys pick these games for this upcoming NFL week that we're all excited for. Obviously, starting tomorrow, this is football eve, I guess, if you will. We got Ravens at Chiefs tomorrow night. Now, the Chiefs lead this overall series 8-5, and we cannot forget, obviously, they won the last matchup. That was 17-10 in the AFC Championship game last year. So, Ben, I'll go to you for, you know what? Let's go to Deb first. Let's go ladies first for the first one. What do you think of this matchup? What do you think wins it? Tell me why.
You know what? I think the Chiefs have this one. I mean, but first off, can the NFL start with a better game? Like, oh my God, Ravens versus Chiefs. We got the Super Bowl champions. We got one of the best teams in the league going, facing them. Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, like, let's go. I'm beyond excited. I've been waiting for this day. I think honestly, Casey, I don't think the Super Bowl kind of slum is going to happen in this game. I think Casey is going to come hot out of the gate this season, come out on fire. And I have more faith in their wide receiver core this season than I did last season. And yeah, I think they're going to take this one.
All right, I like it. Ben, what do you think of this first matchup? And by the way, Deb, it could get better if they had America's team, the Miami Dolphins. But all right, we'll say that. Ben, what do you think?
I agree with Deb. I think the thing about Patrick Mahomes that he don't get enough credit for, he always plays his best when it's supposed to be the next hottest quarterback on the other side. He's only lost to the GOAT in the Super Bowl, that being Tom Brady. Joe Burrow, he can beat him. Josh Allen hasn't beaten him. Justin Herbert can't even make the playoffs. Lamar Jackson has had 2 regular season MVPs like Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes said, "I got that real blame. I'm running out of fingers on my left hand. I'm trying to add, a fourth. For me, I like the Ravens and what they added. Derrick Henry to go along with Lamar Jackson is going to be the most powerful RPO in football. But here's the thing. While Lamar Jackson is losing weight because he said he thought he looked fat in the offseason, Patrick Mahomes gained weight. And he said, I got a dad bod and I do not care. You got to prove to me that you can beat me when everybody's watching. Can I be beat? Yes. But who's going to stop Chris Jones? Chris Jones is the best defensive player in football, people. If you haven't seen him, he's like 6'7". You play defensive end / DN. You cannot stop him. If you can't beat the Ravens, if the Ravens can't beat Kansas City in Baltimore, how the hell are they going to beat them at KC? I would go give me KC with the dub. They lost last year to Detroit. They will not start 0-2 opening games back-to-back season.
That opener shocked me last year because I thought for sure, getting your rings, the crowd's fired up. Even when you do your regular football pool, you always just go with the home teams week 1 anyway because it's the way it normally goes. So that was shocking last year. I will just point out that the Ravens last year in that loss ran the ball 11 times. That will not happen tomorrow night. That is just one big difference in this matchup. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. All right, let's go to Friday night and get a little spicy with the Packers at the Eagles, but not quite. Packers lead this series 28-18 overall. Now the Eagles won the last matchup. That was back in 2022. 40-33, so some fireworks to say the least. Dan, I'll go to you for this one first. Who do you think wins this one and why?
I like the Eagles in this one. I think that now that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts got their drama settled, I think it'll be fine. The one key addition to this defensive backfield that nobody's talking about enough in Philadelphia, you get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back in Philly, a guy that led the league in picks 2 years ago to go along with Darius Slay. I just think that while Jordan Love got his money and he earned it, even though he only played 1 year, I think the Eagles one of the best teams top to bottom on offense and defense. Now, Josh Jacobs is a Packer now, and he likes to run the football. The Eagles defense has proven they can't stop the run. We will get a heavy dose of Josh Jacobs, but I do think them Birds gonna find a way to get it done on Friday night.
Deb, I'd ask your thoughts. I already know what you're going to say. But go
ahead. You need to talk about this one. First of all, Ben, I love you. Birds. And I love me some Jordan. You guys know I love Love, right? Love him. But I love my Eagles more. Eagles are taking this one. Guys, the fans are already repping in Brazil here. We see them. They're all over my feed. Phone calls, text messages. It's crazy. I think the Eagles are going to right their wrong in this season. Obviously got the best offense. And Ben, you said it too. One of the best defenses in the league. I'm excited. We just got Dotson too, he was one of my favorite commanders. So I'm excited now that, he's going to be an Eagle. Super excited to see what Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio are going to do with this team. So let's go Birds.
Yeah, Jahan Dotson, if he stays healthy, adds a nice little component. The Eagles are always trying to find that third guy. If he can come out and play, you definitely have found it. And with the addition of Barkley, yeah, I totally agree. And I love the additions on defense as well. But we're all in agreement so far. Well, let's go now. Let's mix it up maybe a little bit. No, maybe not. Panthers at Saints. The Saints lead the series 31-28. The Saints swept the Panthers last year 20-17 and 28-6. Deb, Who wins this epic matchup and why?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure if I even care about this game. I hate to say that, but I do think the Panthers are going to have a better season this season than they did last season. But yeah, can they really get any worse? I'm taking Saints just because I can't go with the Panthers. That's why.
I think the Panthers made a lot of improvements. I think they will be better. But again, going into New Orleans, it's a tough place to play no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem like the better team. But Ben, what do you think? Who do you think wins this?
I mean, listen, Deb says she just can't pick the Panthers. I can't pick the Saints. Oh my God, listen, being an Atlanta Falcons fan, and listen, that's by birth. That's not by choice. I was born in Georgia. I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan, so like I say,
but
you don't know this.
I lived in Atlanta.
I mean, listen, in my will, I've already got it written down. My Paul Bears will be Atlanta Falcons players, so they can let me down one last time. They already know. It's in the will. Everybody knows that. But here's the thing about the Saints, right? Derek Carr is still a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Like, he's still starting. Not playing, he's starting, right? They still got Alvin Kamara. They still got Tyrann Mathieu and Cameron Jordan. They got a lot of older players. Bryce Young, I mean, literally and figuratively, I mean, I think they added something. They gave him Deontay. You talk about Adam Thielen, Xavier, Leggett. Jadeveon Clowney is a Panther, for those of you who don't know. Derek Brown, I just think because they're so familiar with each other, and I do agree, Deb, listen, if this is on the menu at a restaurant, I don't want to eat this. This ain't what I want, chef. I want something else. But if I got to pick, I'm not going with the beignets. I will go with that Charlotte. Give me them Charlotte boys. Find a way to get a big – and because I don't know how many wins they're going to get this year. Build that young man's confidence. Start off with a big dub, especially with Coach Dave Canales. I mean, coming over from Tampa Bay offensive coordinator. I think they got a shot to get a big one because no one really knows who you are in week one. So this is a pick 'em game. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, so I like I said a minute ago, I just feel like honestly, the Saints at home are just a different team with that environment. So I do like, and I just think they're a little bit of a better team than the Panthers. But I love the improvements the Panthers made, and I think they'll be a lot better than they were last season. Just not sure how. Sorry about that. Just not sure how far out. And by the way, this is a perfect example. If I can turn my damn phone off, this is a perfect example of when I explain to people about fantasy and why it changed the NFL. Because, like Deb said, I would normally be like, nah, I don't really care about this game. But all of a sudden, I got a couple of Saints and Panthers going, and now I'm all in this game. So that's why I tell people, if you're not into fantasy, just get yourself into one because your NFL knowledge and just experience will just improve vastly, I assure you. Speaking of another winner, Vikings at the Giants. Now the Vikings lead the overall series 18-13. Last game that was played, wild card game, Giants won 31-24. I can't even believe I'm saying that. And what do you think of this? What do you think of this matchup, Ben? Who do you think takes it and why?
Now look, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, once again, Brian DeBoer, I saw those guys. They was on Hard Knocks doing all these kind of different things. They do not want Daniel Jones. They got to keep him. They don't want him. They got to keep him because they're paying him so much money. They was talking about every quarterback in the draft. You want Jaden Daniels? Of course. You want, you want Caleb Williams? Yeah. You want Bo Nix? But here's the thing, though. The Vikings got Sam Darnold. See, the thing about Sam Darnold, when he was in New York, he was talking about seeing ghosts and all these different things. I know he got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. I don't know what's going on with the Vikings, but if you haven't seen the defense of the Giants, they got Kayvon Thibodeau, they got Brian Burns, right? They got Dexter Lawrence. They got some players. So for me, because the defense of the Giants are going to keep them in games, because I don't even know, outside of Daniel Jones, I don't even know who play for their offense no more. No more Evan Ingram, no more Saquon Barkley. So I think they're going to protect Daniel Jones with the run game, because if you saw him in the preseason, you see why they wanted one of these young quarterbacks. But I still will go with the G-men to get a big win, to give them some fake confidence in a conference that they're not going to do well in. With Justin Jefferson, he got his money, and I heard Jamar Chase want to get $1 more than him. So Justin Jefferson going to have 30 catches for 276 yards, and they're going to still lose by 2 touchdowns. Give me the G-man.
All right, Deb, who do you think wins this one?
I'm going the complete opposite of Ben here. All right. In Sam Darnold, I trust. I'm going to say it. I'm probably the only one that is thinking this, but I do. I think Jets, no weapons. I guess he did see ghosts, but that's a football term. So, Panthers, no weapons. Here he's got Jefferson. So like you said, and Addison. So we'll see. I think. I think he'll I'm not going to say he's going to shine by any means, but I think he's going to shine more than Daniel Jones, to be honest. And I think we might have like a Baker Mayfield on our hands here with Darnold. So we'll see.
So, like when I just have this discussion with my friends who like to get on me about the Dolphins, and say, "Oh, two of this," or he's not going to. This is the same, I think, example I'd give for Sam Darnold. I think I could suit up my 5'8" butt and throw a screen to Justin Jefferson and end up with 300 something yards. So Sam Darnold may look good on paper as we go along through this season, but we're going to see how good of an NFL quarterback he is. So I agree with Ben actually on this one, because I do think the improvements on the defense for the Giants will outweigh the non-improvement on the Vikings defense. Although, again, to the point, we got Devin Singletary in the backfield. A lot of talk about Malik Neighbors, but how much can Daniel Jones get him the football? It's not like he was impressing anyone in preseason, but again, this might be a little close game, but I think the Giants eke it out at home again due to the defense. Patriots at Bengals. Patriots lead this series 17-10. Last time they played was in 2022. The Bengals won 22-18. We got a theme going. Deb, let's go to you for this one. Who wins it and why?
I'm going Bengals. To be honest, I have Bengals in all three of my suicide leagues. So if they don't win this game, I'm literally going to die.
Actually, my wife and I as well, we did the exact same thing. We just entered into 2 elimination pools this weekend. I was like, which game you want? I was like, you know what? Don't even bother. We going Bengals. That's the easiest one of the week.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, I think everyone's picking it like 51% or something. Most people are taking the Bengals, so I joined that club. Jacoby Brissett, really. Patriots are just in a building year. I'm not expecting very much from the entire team, and they're playing the Bengals. Come on. So going Bengals.
Shout out to my boy Craig when Jacoby Brissett came the starting QB of the Dolphins, and he tried to sit here and explain to me how much of an improvement it was. Boy, all right, Ben, what do you think?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be one of the easiest pick'ems. Of the weekend. You got a healthy Joe Burrow. I know he's dyed his hair blonde these days. Jamar Chase is in the building. You talk about T. Higgins. The thing about the Patriots, just like Deb said, listen, Gerard Mayo, congratulations on becoming the new head coach of the Patriots. Unfortunately, outside of Jacoby Brissett, you don't know nobody who played for the Patriots. The Patriots can walk down the street with their jerseys on, with their name on the back, and you wouldn't know nobody. It's been a long, and that 17-10 had a lot to do with the fact that they had to go, at quarterback. Hey man, what? Mac Jones, he's in Jacksonville now. They got Jacoby Brissett. They got 2 rookie quarterbacks battling for that, really number one spot. But yeah, I'm gonna go with them Bengals. They're gonna start out with a big win. You keep Joe Burrow healthy, they got a shot, to be one of those teams this year. But we'll see. But sorry, Gerard Mayo. Outside of congratulations on being a new head coach. No, this could be real ugly real fast, because I don't even know who was in the building anymore outside of Robert Kraft. And maybe Tom Brady got some equity or something. Maybe one of his kids running around there. I don't know nobody in Foxborough these days.
Indeed, a whole new set. It's like a total rebuild. God, it feels good. All right, the Steelers head to the dirty South, play the Atlanta Falcons. Steelers lead the series 15-1. So there was a tie somewhere. In 2022, they played, the Steelers won 19-16. In fact, in the series, they've won 5 in a row. Ben, who wins this one and why?
Listen, no bias here. No bias at all with my pick here. But Russell Wilson is the starting quarterback for the Steelers. These same Russell Wilson who won the Super Bowl, who know they didn't really want him in Denver. But if you haven't seen the Falcons this offseason, right? Harry Fontenot, had a little money to spend. So he go out there. He re-signed AJ Terrell. He add Justin Simmons to go along with Jesse Bates. We get Mr. Matt Judon, who everybody wanted. He's a Falcon now. My favorite cousin Kirk. He's gonna be throwing the rock, right? You got Bijan Robinson. You talk about Drake London. You talk about Kyle Pitts. The Steelers still got a lot of great players, right? Make no mistake about it. But if you got two quarterbacks, you really don't make your mind up with who you really want. Russell Wilson is not a better option to me than Justin Fields. I don't know why. Russell is the guy. You still got Najee Harris, still got George Pickens, TJ Watt, Patrick Queen. I just think these Falcons got a little bit more firepower. Best coach in the league, in my opinion, not named Andy Reid. Mike Tomlin never had a losing season. But Raheem Morris, hey, he back at the head coach position, back in the NFC South. I don't know how many wins my Falcons going to get this year, but you got to find a way to beat teams you better than. I think the Falcons might be just slightly better on paper, as you mentioned, Jason, this year. Giving them Falcons to start off with a big win, because like I say, in a division that they should have their way in, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers of old. Ain't no Palomalos no more. Ain't no Ben Roethlisbergers or the buses no more. Give me my Falcons to get a big dub against the Steelers.
Yeah, I look at the coaching position. You brought up Mike Tomlin as, that leadership role position. And I always imagine myself like, who would be, man, I'll tell you right now, like, certain players like Ray Lewis, for example, I would go to war with. And Mike Tomlin, as you brought him up, undoubtedly, I would be strapped on, ready to run through a wall for that man. He seems like a great coach. Yep. But I think he 0-1 to start. I like, for all the reasons you said, I like Atlanta too. Deb, who do you think wins this one?
And I agree with you guys about Mike Tomlin. I just wrote down the note. He has a league history of getting his squad ready for game one. I mean, they in the past, they usually win. They did not last season, but usually they do. I agree with everything you guys just said. I think the Falcons are going to take this one. I'm excited to see Kirk under Raheem Morris. I think Morris is building something special in the Falcons. My one concern is with Kirk, with his Achilles, with his injury, is there's only been 4 quarterbacks in the NFL history that have ever come back and been successful. Yeah.
You gonna name one of them?
I'm not, but
I thought you were going to name America's team, Dan Marino.
Dan Marino.
I just knew it was 4.
Phillies and got with it. So
I mean, I have that same concern with Aaron Rodgers too, who's not going to win the first game, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I mean, I'm excited to see the Falcons. I think, and even if Cousins doesn't do it, you've got Penix coming up with the backup there. And an amazing squad, so many weapons on the offense and the defense. So, going Falcons, go ATL.
And the biggest note, no Arthur Smith. So
watch
out.
There you go. Go back to sending packages, man. Get out of here.
Watch out, ATL. All right, let's go. Texans at the Colts. The Colts lead the overall series 33-11-1. They split last year, interesting enough. 31-20 for the Colts and 23-19 for the Texans. So we'll go to you first, Deb. Who you like in this one?
Ooh, CJ Stroud versus Anthony Richardson. I mean, dream. Honestly, though, I don't think we saw enough of Anthony Richardson last season to really know. But I mean, I saw him in the combine and he blew me away when I was there. But again, we didn't see him on the field a lot playing. But CJ Stroud obviously wowed everybody last season. Bringing the Texans up and making the playoffs. And so, yeah, I mean, they almost win. So, yeah, I'm going Texans. So, it's going to be a really good game, though. It really could be a toss-up.
Yeah, this is a good one and funny because the AFC South, no offense, Ben, just always been in that division. You're kind of like, yeah, but there's a good little matchup right here. Ben, who do you think wins this one?
I mean, I agree with Deb. I think it is going to be the Texans. I think the thing about Anthony Richardson is, though, as a guy that obviously, played in my alma mater at Florida, got a chance to see him a lot. Like I say, 6'4", 245 pounds, they could jump out the gym and run 4.4s. That's a great athlete. That's normal in the league. That's a defensive end. That's a linebacker. And I think the thing about Anthony Richardson that he's realizing real fast, they're going to make him play quarterback. Now, look, we know you're a freak athlete. We're gonna make you go through your reads. You and Michael Pittman. It's not handing the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. Can you find Michael Pittman? Can you find a Donnie Mitchell and those guys? Because CJ Stroud was a beast without Diggs. I'm doing it without Diggs. You gonna give me Diggs? You gonna give me Joe Mixon? You're gonna give me Nico Collins and Tank Down and Dalton Schultz. The thing about CJ Stroud and the Texans, they don't know they're supposed to be good. They so young, they don't even know. Wait, we're not supposed to be doing this? No. Will Anderson, defensive rookie of the year. CJ Stroud, offensive rookie of the year. Right? DeMeco Ryans probably should have been coach of the year. You know how that stuff gets political. But I just think this Texans team, they added some weapons in the offseason. Danielle Hunter is one of the best he's not young, but one of the best defensive pass rushers that no one knows about. No one really knows who he is. Watch him on Saturday. Anthony Richardson going to be running for his life because Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson giving them Texans to pick up where they left off in 2023 and 2024. And like I say, Anthony Richardson, look, if you're standing next to CJ Stroud, they're going to be like, hey, man, who that tall dude? I said, no, it's the one shorter than the tall dude. The guy right there, both of them got the dreads and they have. But the light-skinned one, that's the one. Love Anthony Richardson. But CJ Stroud told Anthony, hey, man, you was the fourth pick in the draft. I was the second pick in the draft. Will Anderson was the third pick. I'm going to go with the second and third pick in them Texans in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Texans. Just from in my day job, I'm a physical therapist. And I've also torn my ACL before. Not that I've never had an AC joint sprain like Anthony Richardson had, but I do know coming back from any injury. Now I'll bring up the ACL. The only reason I bring the ACL thing up because I remember going to play a flag football game, just a flag game, and I was scared as hell the entire time. My first time out there. Not to say this is his first time out there in action, and an AC joint is a little different than the knee, obviously. But I think in real time and a real week one, it's going to be a little bit of learning curve. And I think you saw a little bit in preseason. He's not quite ready quite yet. And I think he will get there, but he's not ready right now. And the Texans, I know they're ready. So I like them for this week. All right, let's go to Cardinals at the Bills. Ooh, Bills lead the series 7-5. Last time they played was in 2020. The Cardinals won 32-20. So, Ben, we'll go to you on this one. Who do you think wins and why?
Oh, it's gonna be a long night for them Cardinals. I know Kyler Murray and they gave him Marvin Harrison Jr., right? The Bills, they on a mission, right? The Bills, and Coach McDermott and those guys, Josh Allen, those guys. Listen, they said they did go. They shipped Diggs over to Houston. They said we're gonna be good. They replaced Diggs with Keon Coleman, probably the most charismatic, young receiver in the league. As far as you ever seen his press conferences, but the thing about Kyler Murray, he's been there a long time. Talented player, but never went through a lot of head coaches, got a new deal. Buda Baker still one of their best players. Outside of Marvin Harrison, I want to say James Conner, and Kyler Murray. I don't know nobody who played for Arizona. Arizona's outside of being a nice place to live. I don't know if you pay taxes or whatever in Arizona. I've been there before. Scottsdale is a beautiful place, beautiful city. The Bills going to beat the brakes off of Arizona. And it's nothing against Arizona. The Bills say, listen, man, because other teams are watching us, we can't show no kinks in the armor. Give me the Bills in a big way on starting out with a big dub. And like I said, Arizona, they're gonna be scratching and clawing for healthy bodies towards the end of the season.
Sure, a big one, he says. Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, since Zach Ertz left the Cardinals, I could care less about the Cardinals. Done.
Philly girl.
I'm definitely not a Kyler Murray fan. I think the Bills are going to destroy them.
Yeah, I hope this doesn't happen because as a Miami Dolphin fan, that's not what I want to see as a Bill W, and especially a beatdown of what everyone seems to want to crown as that dark horse in the NFC, this Cardinals team. But I do agree with you, Ben. Other than, they do have a couple playmakers, but not much after. Now, the Bills have lost quite a lot in the defense. So, we're going to really see if Kyler Murray is back to that form because this defense does have holes in it and can be got, so to speak. So I think this is going to be interesting. I think it'll be a little closer than a beatdown, but I think the Bills do prevail, sadly. All right, let's go to the next one. Titans at Bears. Titans lead the series 7-6. Last time they played was in 2020. The Titans won 24-17. They've won 2 in a row. So Deb, we'll go to you first because we got to have Ben close this one. What do you think? Who wins and why?
I'm excited to see what Caleb has. I think the Bears are going to have a really good season, and I'm excited for my Chicago fans and friends that are fans. And yeah, I think the Bears. DJ Moore, who came over from the Chargers.
Keenan Allen.
Thank you. And the Bears have this one.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ben, what do you think? You think your boys are going to pull this out? What do you say?
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Caleb Williams they already slotted him to be the first ever Bear to toss for 4,000. I don't know why tossing for 4,000 yards is a big thing if you ain't winning, Super Bowls or playoff games. But you mentioned Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. You talk about Rome Meduze, another first round receiver out of Washington. But remember, I told you Terry Fontenot was able to spend some money in Atlanta. Ray Carthon spent some money this season. I'll see with the Titans. I mean, he went over there and got the Darius Sneed, big time quarterback coming over from Kansas City. He got Jamal Adams, Quadri Diggs, Jeffrey Simmons, who are already on the Titans. I think because of that secondary, it's gonna make it a very, very interesting game. Because all I saw this offseason with Caleb Williams, he's making a bunch of plays outside the pocket. He ain't sitting in the pocket because he realized, dang, these dudes big, these fast. These dudes athletic. But I think the Titans need this one more than Chicago, only because when you got the number 1 overall pick, man, he's going to go through some growing pains. I agree with Deb, though. I do think Chicago going to have a good season, but I do think the Titans get a big one. I think the defense is going to have a lot to say about it because I ain't even get to D-Hop. I ain't even get to Calvin Ridley. I ain't even get to that offense. Now, they do got Will Levis. Will Levis is the starting quarterback for the Titans. I do think that Chicago got the better quarterback, but I just think that Jeffrey Simmons and company on defense, Harold Landry and those guys, Titans defense might not be as good as the Texans, but they good. They got some guys. I think they give Caleb Williams some fits. He makes a rookie mistake. I think the Titans come out with an ugly win in shot time.
Oh, I think that was a homer pick, but I will say, So what's interesting here is that I feel, these two teams almost mirror each other than obviously the QB position. But what I mean is, a younger team that is definitely coming up, getting better. You brought up all the improvements on the Titans. Tony Pollard last season wasn't what we thought he was. But if he gets back to that big playmaking form with Tajay Spears in the mix, you could have a very decent offense. And you mentioned, I think they are a very overlooked defense as well. Now, the Bears on the same side, defense definitely has been improved. And offense, obviously, is full of playmakers. So again, I always revert to the home teams week 1, so I'm going to go Bears, but they very much mirror each other, which I think will be a great game. Now let's get to the game of the day with the Jacksonville Jaguars coming to America's team, the Miami Dolphins. And I'm sad to say the Jags lead this series 6-5. Last time they played was in 2021. Jags won 23-20. But this ain't their house. It's our house. Deb, what you think? Who wins this one and why?
I'm going Dolphins. I just think the Dolphins are a better team than the Jags at the moment.
That's all you need to say,
Yeah,
Deb.
sorry.
That's all that needed to be said. I love it. Ben, what do you think?
Listen, I like the Dolphins as well. Tua get his money in the offseason. Trevor Lawrence get his money in the offseason. Tua don't got to pay no state tax. Trevor Lawrence don't got to pay no state tax. Trevor Lawrence got Travis Etienne, Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas Jr., Evan Ingram. Tua got Tyreek, Waddle, OBJ. Ain't nobody even talking about Odell Beckham. Jonnu Smith at the tight end position. Raheem Mostert. Look, at the end of the day, this is going to come down to one thing. Whichever defense can find a way to make a stop, because the thing about the Dolphins is you come to see the offense. But you still got Jalen Ramsey on the defense, Jalen Phillips. You still got Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen, by the way, people. Up there with the Jags. But Miami at home. Listen, you was talking about the greatest show on turf before the show, Jay. This might be the greatest show, in the sun. When you talk about these Tua and company, Give me Mike McDaniel, and I am going to listen. I want to see what's on his feet because he do be having. He's the only coach that got a little swagginess to him. You know, I don't know why the swagginess is to him, but I think Mike McDaniel is going to have his Dolphins ready to go. They trying to show the whole rest of the league, hey man, last year wasn't no fluke, and Brian Flores, this man don't deserve to be a quarterback. Are you saying what? Let me leave that alone. Let me. That's. Tua, go out there and earn your money, sir. But yeah, Tyreek Hill, that's the best under 6 foot player gonna ever come through the league. Give me them Dolphins.
So listen, I don't want to get crazy because the Dolphins are very much like the Cowboys, and that's why I call them America's team, because they get you all excited and then let you down at the end. So, but in the beginning, boy, oh boy, it's time for the excitement at home. You mentioned the Jaguars playmakers, but you also mentioned prior Calvin Ridley, now off this Jaguar team, and he does have a rookie receiver as well. So with some new receivers there takes some time with timing. Guess who don't need no time with timing? That's Tua. That's Tyreek. That's Jalen Waddle. You brought him up already. A-Chain back. We got Mostert, who is, I don't know why, the most underrated fantasy player. People taking A-Chain in the 2nd round and taking Mostert in the 8th. You silly. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, long story short, America's team, the Miami Dolphins, wins this home opener. They better. I'm going to be driving home upset. All right, let's go with the Broncos at the Seahawks. We get in the 4 o'clocks here. Broncos lead the series 35-22. Last time they played was in 2022. The Seahawks won 17-16. Ben, who you like?
I like the Seahawks. I mean, I think Mike McDonald going to have Geno Smith, DK, and, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, Nick with all those Noah Fan. And once again, here's the thing about the Broncos. Outside of Bo Nix, outside of Javonte Williams, shout out to Pat Surtain. I think he just got his new deal. And Cortland Sutton, I don't know who played for the Dolphins. I don't know who played for the Broncos anymore. I cannot pick teams when I don't know the players. I'm supposed to know the players who does what. Bo Nix. Shout out to Bo Nix, though, a young man that started off at Auburn, goes up there to Oregon, become a first-round pick. But people thought he was a gadget player at Auburn, but listen, love you, Bo, but you a rookie. That Seahawks defense gonna find a way to get at you. And if you've never seen DK Metcalf in real life, he looks like an action figure. That's how he really looks. I don't know how he does it. He just drinks water, does abs. That's it. He don't eat food. Give me the Seahawks
candy too.
Exactly. The man eats candy, does commercials, wearing all green, and hates defensive backs. So give me Seattle to get a big dub against Sean Payton and his can't make the playoffs Broncos these days.
All right, Deb, who you like this one?
And Ben, we're so similar. I literally said I see this game as Sean Payton versus DK Metcalf. Like that's what I see. Because I don't know who any of the Broncos are either. So also obviously huge DK Metcalf fan. I think he's going to make a huge splash this season. He's cleaned up his it's funny you brought up food because he's cleaned up his palate. Has been working really hard. Also love Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I'm not exactly sold on Bo Nix. I mean, again, rookie, so we don't know what he can do yet. I'm going Seahawks all the way on this one.
Our girl Deb's won award as a producer, and I can solely see the Sunday night vignette of the Broncos Seahawks as they show DK Metcalf, and then all of a sudden here comes Sean Payton. Oh boy, unreal. Yeah, I totally hear you guys for all the points that you made. Let's also add in Seattle, tough place to play. Again, I know I sound silly saying that, but it's the bottom line is always on week 1, traditionally, home teams always end up playing out. So Seahawks, I think, easy winner in this one. Raiders at Chargers. Raiders lead the series 69-58-2. They split last season 24-17 is when the Chargers won, and the Raiders won 63-21 in a psycho beta beatdown. So let's go to Deb. You miss LA. What you think of this matchup?
I can't wait to see the Chargers on the field. I'm excited to see what Harbaugh can do this season. I'm a little concerned about Justin Herbert though. His injury. Not sure. I've been hearing it's a little bit more worse than people are saying it is, or people are believing it is. I'm not sure though, but I still think that Stick and Heineke can cover for him. But I'm just a little concerned. So we'll see. But I'm going to go Chargers with this game.
All right. What do you think, Ben?
Jason, I know you've been talking about the home field advantage, right? The biggest head scratcher in the National Football League will always be the Chargers. You got Herbert. You got when you talk about Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James, Asante Samuels, they got everybody, and they find a way to not win. I know Mike Williams gone. I know.
Well, it was.
But here's the thing about the Las Vegas Raiders, right? They had Brock Bowers, right? Talking about Devontae Adams, talk about Zamir, Zamir White. Max Crosby is going to give Justin Herbert's fit. The fact that he already injured, what? He's coming in injured. I think the Raiders find a way to get a big dub against these Chargers because really? I don't like when the Harbaughs be. I don't like when Jim Harbaugh be winning games because everybody think he is the quarterback guru. They think I like the Chargers, but the Chargers been had talent. They just don't get the wins. Gardner Minshew has really, really found a niche for himself. A guy that's found a way to be a starter with the Colts, with the Jags. Now with the Raiders. I think the Raiders start off with a big dub against. I want Panda to start early, and I want Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins to just live in the backfield. Against some Chargers. Give me the Raiders, an ugly one, because like I say, I can't remember who the old Chargers coach was, but after that 6-3 shellacking, he goes to the press conference and said, "I think we'll be all right." Like, no, dude, your key don't work. What? You ain't coming back giving up 63 points? 63 points to the Raiders? Man, get out of here. So give me the Raiders getting a big dub against some Chargers week 1.
I believe it or not, I'm gonna agree with Ben on this one. I actually do like the Raiders, and I agree with you, Deb. I'm a little concerned with Justin Herbert. It's Harbaugh's bringing in his new system, so there's gonna be a little bit of hiccups. And I know Harbaugh likes to run the football. Yes. Not confident in those running backs with J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. I mean, it's just
You're not confident in them.
Say again.
You're not confident in the running backs?
I am not at all. Okay. J.K. Dobbins, quite frankly, has on my show, I always bring him up, has never done nothing, is always just brought up as this guy that's going to be amazing and ends up always on the bench. So not excited about them at all, to be quite frank with you. And I think we forgot how hot this Raiders team was down the stretch last year. I really do. I like the Raiders. I think they will pull out the away victory, if you will. All right, let's go to an interesting one. I like this one at the 4 o'clocks. Cowboys at the Browns. The Browns lead the series 18-14. Last time they played was in 2020. The Browns won 49-38. Wow. Barn burner in that one. All right, Ben, who do you like in this one and why?
I mean, I hate to pick the Dallas Cowboys in anything. I mean, I do think that the National Football League needs to come together to make sure they're not going to win Super Bowls, but they're the most talked about team in sports. But the reason why I'm going to pick the Cowboys is I ain't seen Deshaun Watson in a while. Like, Deshaun Watson I don't know how he was able to get that big deal when he was out of football for like a couple of years, and when he came back, he got injured. They went to the playoffs. Joe Flacco was there. I mean, he was the starter at the time. Now, he got Cooper and Judy. He got Elijah Moore. He got David and Njoku. He got a squad around him, not to mention, Myles Garrett and company. But Cowboys, not the Cowboys, Deshaun Watson, he got to prove to me that he can play a full game. And guess what? There's a guy by the name, what's his name? Michael Parsons. He want his money. Jerry Jones won't give it to him. So you know who's going to have to fill that? Deshaun. He gonna see Parsons a lot. I never like picking the Cowboys. I feel like I call me being Stephen A. Smith. I can't stand the Cowboys, but I got to go with I can't go with my heart. I got to go with my analytics. Give me the Cowboys to start off and let Coach Stefanski and them Browns know, hey, man, y'all ain't the Browns of old, but y'all still the Browns. So give me the Cowboys.
Hey, still the Browns. What you think, Deb? They still the Browns week 1?
What was that?
I said, are they still the Browns week 1?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Ben hit the nail on the head on this one. I hate picking the Cowboys, as you know. I mean, come on. But yeah, I mean, you said the magic word, and that is Parsons. So yeah, I think I'm going Cowboys on this one too. And true, I mean, like no one knows what Watson's doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, Cowboys all the way.
Yeah, this one's really interesting to me. Yes, I agree with all that what you guys are saying, but don't forget this Browns defense is nasty good. So that to me is concerning for the Cowboys coming in. They're not as good on the road as they are at home. So it's such a toss up for me. So just to be the outlier, I'll go Browns on this one. Commanders at the Bucks. The Commanders lead the series 13-12. Last time they played was in 2021. Commanders won 29-19. Deb, who you liking this one?
I'm going the Bucks. I just don't. Commanders are rebuilding, and yeah, I just don't see them. I just don't see them performing this season much. I like Baker Mayfield. I'm going Bucks.
All right, who do you think, Ben? Who do you like?
I go with the Bucks as well, but I do think Jaden Daniels is going to be very, very, very exciting. I think the young man is built, to be in the nation's capital, to play like, to come out swinging. But you mentioned Zach Ertz, he's moved over. He's over there with the Commanders.
That's true. He did.
Yep. I mean, Bobby Wagner, he's going to be running the defense for the Commanders. But the Commanders kind of like the Broncos, man. I mean, tradition rich, well, not the Commanders. The watching football team, the Redskins. I don't even know what a Commander is. You're like, y'all made us wait 2 years. That's the best y'all. Anyway, I'm just saying, give me the Bucks, because I think the thing about Jaden Daniels is while doesn't lack confidence and charisma, he's not a big dude. He gonna get hit, and he gonna get hit a lot. His welcome to the NFL moment gonna be when he get off the plane and when he get back on. Because during he gonna be like, dude, like I need some Bengay or something. These dudes knocking the hell out of me. Give me the Bucks with a big, Baker Mayfield resurrected his career, down there in Tampa. Craziness.
Yeah, listen, my wife is from Philly, so huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. So we travel last year. We went up to see the Eagles and Dolphins game. That was a lot of fun. But we went to the Tampa game when the Eagles came for the playoffs, and I feel like the Bucks are one of the most disrespected teams in the league, and it totally exemplifies, I guess, if that's the right word, their quarterback, because that's what Baker Mayfield is. I feel like he's that guy that you're like, nah, it's Baker Mayfield. And then that team ends up, don't forget, beat Philly and Tampa, then gave Lions all that they could get in that playoff game. I was real impressed with the way they looked there. So I like the Bucks, obviously, in this one. No disrespecting Commanders be a lot better, but I like the Bucks here. Rams at the Lions. Now the Rams lead the overall series 45-42-1. Last year, talking about the playoffs, 24-23 Lions in a great matchup. So let's go to you, Ben, on this one. Who do you like and why?
Listen, I love the quarterback matchup. You talk about just switching places. Jared Goff, and Matthew Stafford. Here's the thing about Detroit. Remember I said that was the same old Browns? This is a different Lions team. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on in Detroit. I really don't know. And I think the thing about Jared Goff is he said, listen, man, put me with a place that want me and watch what I do. Just put me in a place that want me. St. Brown don't like nobody. Aiden Hutchinson he's living in the backfield. I like Puka. I like Cooper Kupp, for them Rams. But I just think Detroit is just a different team at home, like you mentioned. Give me them Detroit, boys to get a big win. And once again, Jared Goff, Jared Goff, he gonna walk up to Matthew Stafford. He gonna say, I ain't win a Super Bowl. Why? Because I ain't have Cooper Kupp. He was hurt when I was in the Super Bowl. Because when you had him, he was Super Bowl MVP. You can have him though. Hey, Coop, man, I love you, but I'm gonna take this dub up off you. Give me them Lions with that dub.
I love it. Deb, who you like? Are we sticking with the LA theme?
You know what? I'm actually going Lions on this one. But because obviously Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Aiden Hutchinson. But don't count out the Rams. Like I went back and forth on this one, to be honest. I'm really liking this Rams team too. I like what I saw at training camp as well. I actually think the Rams are gonna fight for San Fran for the NFC West division at the end of the season. I think they're going to give them a run for their money. But in this case, I can't go against the Lions for this one. So
Rams feel a tad disrespected too. I always also feel like that, and
Yeah.
like 24-23. I mean, this was again
Yep.
a great game last year, deep in the playoffs. Now Cooper Cup back and healthy, added to the mix too. But agreed with all of you, can't go against the Lions at home this
Can't do it.
year. All right, let's finish it up. Monday Night Football. The Jets suck at the 49ers. 49ers lead the series 11-3. Last time they played was in 2020. The Niners won 31-13. Deb, who you like and why?
I am excited to see Aaron Rodgers back on the field. It sucked last season watching him go down 75 seconds into the first quarter of the game, but I am not excited to see him win this one. I'm definitely going 49ers. They have the most balanced team in the NFL, and I think, yeah. I got in so much trouble last season when I was like, San Francisco, no one's going to beat San Francisco, and then they lost 3 in a row. I'm still getting shit about it. But no, the 49ers are taking this one.
Yeah, it's funny how as an NFL fan, like, a player when they go certain places like that loyalty, like used to love Aaron Rodgers. I love the whole belt thing. I used to watch, I love that. Man, now that he's on the Jets, I can't stand him. So we talk about when he went down last season, I was just giggling. Ben, who you think? Who you like?
I like San Fran, but I think it's going to be a closer game than people give it credit for because you got 2 really, really good defenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Quentin Williams' older brother Quincy is a freaking linebacker, right? You got both. His mama get to come to one. Listen, mama, that my mama been stand. They go Quincy, they go Quentin. One is 5'10", 230. The other one is 6'5", 300. I don't know how brothers be that big, of a size difference. But I just think that here's what I like though. Brock Purdy probably grew up Aaron Rodgers fan.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, right? Wish he could have played for San Francisco. Brock Purdy told Aaron Rodgers, he said, Aaron, you the man, right? Yeah. I've been to more Super Bowls. I mean, how am I going to Super Bowls this early in my career? I'm Mr. Irrelevant. You missed a discount double check, right? I will go with them 49ers for everything that Deb just said. But here's another reason. Ayuk got his money. I think Trent Williams about to get his money. McCaffrey, he'll be out there, right? I just think that everybody's giving the Jets all this love because Aaron Rodgers is back. What would Aaron Rodgers know about being on another Super Bowl team? He's went to 1 Super Bowl. And I'm not saying he's not one of the greatest, but Eli went to 2. Right? Joe Flacco went to 1. We be putting Aaron Rodgers on his pedestal because he can sling that thing. I'm not saying he can't throw that thing, but Brock is gonna look at Aaron and say not today. So I'm gonna take them boys. I'm gonna take them boys out there. Well, it ain't Candlestick. They ain't Santa Clara. They ain't Levi Stadium now. Candlestick. That's the mode for now. Give me the 49ers because Aaron Rodgers is becoming the evil villain in the NFL. People just they don't want to see him get hurt. They want to see him get beat because they want him to blame it on everybody in the press conference, but Aaron. Giving them 49ers.
Yeah, and it probably sounded bad when I said I giggled when he got hurt. It was only because I know some really annoying Jets fans. So, and after hearing it all summer long, it just kind of felt like, yeah, shh, be quiet. But I will say the NFL schedule makers did Aaron Rodgers dirty coming off a major injury at his age, not only to play the 49ers, but in their stadium that's notoriously not good. I mean, so I would just, if they're smart, they go into this game running the football with Breece Hall and just continue to run it and make that your game plan and don't make Aaron Rodgers your game plan because you're going to be in trouble. I think for the entire season, if that's the case, because, you run a big risk, especially against such a good defense. Now, the reason I'm even saying all that is to say he'll be getting rid of the ball quickly when he does throw it, I would imagine. So, again, 49ers, I do like in the matchup, but the NFL did Aaron Rodgers dirty on this particular first game. That's all I got to say.
I agree.
All right, we're gonna close things out tonight with our boy Ben's. We're gonna close all of our segments with Ben, of course, but we're gonna do Ben Skadoop of the week because he's gonna talk about little things. Basically, a minute where Ben's just gonna get something off his chest. So let's check it out.
He's got Ben Troupe at the 15, at the 10, hurdles a man, spins to the 5. Oh my! Still on his feet, still pounding to the goal line. He's gonna score!
Listen, let me go ahead and get this off my chest real quick because it's been bothering me. Listen, it was opening week in college football. We got the NFL season coming, but I got to talk to these fans real quick. Some of y'all really, really have gotten lost your mind thinking that you could do better than what you're looking at. I get it. Teams didn't play well. Coach made the wrong call. When you're telling people that they suck, they need to be fired, sir. Are you the vice president of your company? Nope. Are you the number one salesman at your company? Nope. Do you show up to work on time every day? No. Are you the best at what you do? No. You are looking at the best at what they do in college and when the pros, come out there starting Thursday. I say that to say this. I'd be just as pissed as everybody else when my team lose, but I put it in perspective because this is why. If you're not gonna say it to them, don't say it about them. And I don't mean y'all gonna try to fight. I'm saying the same person you just said suck is 17, 18, 19 years old. The same person you said, man, get rid of him. He plays video games and eats candy. That's what he does. Now, but he's 6'5", 350 pounds. All I'm telling you is we got to learn how to get a grip sometimes, people, because this is why the reason why I do sports talk radio is because this is how I hone it all in. This is what you do. This is what you do. If what you were going to say to them, if they appeared in front of you, and they just appeared in front of you, you're not going to say it. Because at the end of the day, Jason and Deb, and to my beautiful listeners out there, we need to learn. This is what I would have you do. What would you rather do? Would you rather give up on the team you love or root for the team you hate? Think about that. What if Jason had to root for the Jets? What if Deb had to root for the Cowboys? Because we be acting like we want to root for another squad. Listen to me. We married to the game, baby. We married to the teams we love. Whether they win or lose. Some of us actually got traditions. And listen, let me tell y'all something, people. I grew up a Falcons fan. I got drafted by the Titans. I played for the Raiders and the Bucks. So my life really hasn't had I had a lot of highs and some huge lows. But I will tell you, I wouldn't trade it all for anything. Because the reason why I do no weddings in the fall is because listen, I'm married to the game, baby. I just recently got married. And it was hot as hell in the summer. I told my wife, we can't get married in the fall. That's false advertising. But just root them youngins on because Aaron Rodgers plays for the Jets. The last player to win it all for the Jets. TVs were just being invented. And they said they went out there and won that thing. He's still the most famous Jet, Joe Broadway. Just listen, the Dallas Cowboys are not going to be good. If your team ain't in the top 25 in college, they can't go to the college football playoff because Jason just showed. Florida State lost week 1. They didn't even move. They were still ranked number 10. So if you're saying, hey, little Timmy, we play for Montana State. We got a shot. You don't. And if you're not good in 2023 in the NFL, you're not going to be good in 2024. I am being true. That is Jason. That is Deb. Listen, you can do whatever you want in the fall. I not catch you in no church. I wear size 14. And like my grandma said, if I catch you in the church, you're going to be wearing 3 shoes. 2 on your feet and 1 up your, I'm just saying. But that is my rant for the week. I'm all over the place. I'm already married. So hey, I'm married in real life and I'm married to the game. You know how.
Nah, Ben killed it. Good job, my friend. Although you went over the 60-second mark, though. We're gonna have to get a buzzer.
I'm a Titans fan. We ain't good with time. I'm a Falcons fan, but I played for the Titans and the Raiders gave me a check. But hey man. My agony is about to start, Jason. The season's about to start, and good when you got Miami. Deb got she got LA teams and she got the Eagles. What I got? Alcohol, and I don't even drink.
I have that too.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun season on this show. I can't wait. All right, Deb. Speaking of fun seasons, I know the Blonde Blitz is coming back. We'll talk about that before we close out.
Yes, I'm excited bringing the Blonde Blitz back. We took a little hiatus. I'm pairing up with the NFL Wives off the field. They're going to be my co-host each week. Hopefully, I'll have their husbands pop on every once in a while, talk about the game. Have a lot of fun stuff planned for you guys. Fantasy, sports betting, have some football design. Got a HGTV designer coming on who loves football, grew up in a football family. Just gonna tell you guys how to bring football into your house. Say you have a Patriots fan and an Eagles fan who are married. She can blend your styles. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Also have sports comedy coming your way. So I'm really excited. So I'll see you guys. We're starting next week. And hopefully Ben's coming on to do some picks too.
Of course. Listen, of course. I was about to say I will get to make my blonde blitz debut. I'm looking forward to being on, with the NFL wives. I mean, let's do it.
It'll be really fun. We'll talk all to them about what it's like to be an NFL wife, what they do, their passions, also their husbands, and of course we'll have NFL news and hot takes and all that good stuff. So it should be a jam-packed NFL theme show.
An NFL extravaganza. That's what I would like to deem it. I can't wait. I'm excited. Check us out. Stick and stay here on That Sports Podcast Network. And of course, check us out next week. We'll be bringing you week 2 results. We'll talk about that. And obviously the build up for week 3. I can't believe we're getting going. We're getting in. It's football time. Let's go.
Yeah,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you all. Again, Deb, thank you so much.
And of course. Thank you guys.
Thank you. We are out.